If you have 1 to 2 square foot for every 1 to 2 square foot of garden, if you have 1 to 2 square foot in grass for every 1 to 2 square foot of garden, you'll end up with more grass than you know what to do with. Allowing the grass to grow 2 foot tall, you're now growing a volume of grass that is double the square footage. Actually, so it's the volume of the square footage times 2, because the grass is 2 feet tall. The grass gets 3 feet tall, you triple it. When you cut the grass, you layer it on lightly, like this, and you take the rest to a larger garden area. If you have animals, that's a different story. The animals can eat the grass. You can take every other cut for the gardens, and the animals will fertilize that grass and help with nutrition cycles. So I actually spread this out. You don't want this grass soaked in water. I'm trying to get grass growing the whole area up here, but it's not going as quickly as I'd like. So I just lightly layer grass on the beds so that we can get these plants growing. We got taro in this row, and we've got a flowering aquatic plant here, but you can see how much extra grass I have to haul down to the garden area. Now ideally I'd like to have garden areas in here, but you get a lot of deer, so I don't quite want to fence this out, and so I'm going to just keep it grassed areas. I actually did put a native wild rice in here, and I'll see if it sprouts. I doubt it sprouts, but any kind of grass is good. And then these mound beds with flowers in them. They were in here last year under protection. Hopefully they'll come back with the deer with ready access. But again, these detention basins slow the water down, spread it out, soak it into the ground, and then buffer the water before it goes down the hill here. If they were not here, this level terrace would not be possible, because the level terrace actually has a big steep slope down here. So the basins are part of the design. It actually comes from the Army Corps of Engineers. So it's not something I made up. It's just a basin system that, again, takes the water off this watershed, buffers it by slowing and spreading it, and then brings it out through a top corner, to bring down a hill that's a 1 to 3 slope. But again, look at all this grass. In fact, you're going to have so much grass, you could actually use it in your paths, in the garden areas. You can compost it if you want. You can feed it to animals. And you ultimately won't have to buy a bale of straw or hay. Again, remember, it is 1 foot square of grass for every 1 foot square of garden. And you could do more grass if you like. Scythe it, cut it with a scythe, rake it up, and then you end up with mulch. A lot of mulch. If you had rabbits, you can use it. You'll have enough to even put it on the waste. So I'm going to finish up here. I'm Justin Hitt with Prosperity Homestead. www.prosperityhomestead.org for holistic land management solutions, ideas and concepts to help you get more utility value out of your land while improving the environment and your health.